Good morning, children. Hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. Children, last class I have sent a electronic configuration table where the rule was 288 rule, and certain children sent me the message through Campus Care that this rule was not clear to them, and I agreed also. The explanation was clear, but the picture was not clear. So let me explain once more. Then only we can move on to the next topic. Unless and until the whole topic is clear to everyone, we cannot understand the chemical properties. Let's start, children. Children, I told you already a scientist was named whose name was Niels Bohr. And according to Niels Bohr, he gave to fill the electron in different shells by the formula 2n square. And n is equal to number of shells. So, children, if I put 2, that is according to the formula, into first shell, that is 1, it goes as 2 electrons. So 2 into 1 square equals to first shell will have how many accommodation for electrons? 2 electron. Similarly, for the second one, 2 into 2 square is 4. 4 twos are 8 electron. So for the second shell, the accommodation is 8 electron. And similarly, for third one, 2 into 3 square is 9, 9 twos are 18, and so on, children. And so on for up to the last shell. But we require this much only in standard 8 because we will move on with only how many elements, that is atomic number 20, that is up to the last element, calcium. Only 20 element we will study, in which we required only this much of shells, that is first, second and third shell. Now children, to fill these electrons, let us consider certain element with their different atomic number. And then only you will understand the 288 rule. Let me take the first element, that is hydrogen. If I say hydrogen and atomic number 1. Clear? There are 4 shells generally named as capital K, K, L, M and N. And we already have studied that the first shell has a capability to accommodate how many electron? 2 electron. But hydrogen is having how many electron to it? That is only 1. Atomic number is the number of electrons. So it is only having 1. So it will give 1. And children, one more thing which I have already repeated and I already told you earlier also, that if K is the last shell and if L is the last shell for an element, M is the last shell, you will see the number, this number under that last shell. So for hydrogen, the last shell is only K. So K is having what number? 1. So if the number is 1, so the valency will also be 1. In same way, if I see helium and helium symbol, if I take He2. Now, first shell has an accommodation of how many electron, children? 2. According to the formula 2n square, first shell can take 2. So K has fully filled. So no one can take from helium 2 electron, or helium will say I will not give also because my shell has been full. So why should I give or why should I take? Taking part is impossible and giving part he will not give because he has fulfilled his shell. So the valency here, when it does not give or does not take, it becomes 0. So here I took 2 elements from the beginning, 1 and 2. Let me take another element, that is nitrogen. And nitrogen atomic number is 7. Clear? Now children, when I say 7, let me break now. It will be easy for you people to understand. Now when I want to break 7, my first shell has an accommodation of how much? 2. Got it? So this is my which shell? K shell. 7 minus 2 still left over with how many electron? 5. And second shell has a capability of taking 8 electron. So still the second shell has a space. So nitrogen says, okay, fine. First shell is full. Second shell I'll jump, and I'm only having 5 electrons, so I will accommodate over here. I told you children, if whatever shell, this is K and this is L shell. So for nitrogen, the last shell will be L. You will see the number. And if the number is 1, 2, 3, 4, you will copy down the same. But if it is 2 and it is helium, and helium has a capability of 2, then only it will be 0. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, you will copy down the same for the valency. But if it is 5, 6, 7, 8, more than 4, you will subtract this number from 8. So 8 minus 5, the number is 3. So its valency is 3. Nitrogen valency will be 3. Let us take one more example, children. For example, if I take oxygen. Oxygen and atomic number 8. Let's distribute. 2 and the second 8 minus 2 still left with 6. 6. So first shell K, second shell L. I told you more than 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This number you will subtract it from 8. 8 minus 6. So its valency is 2. So oxygen valency is 2. Now children, this rule, let us see for this rule. This rule, argon. Argon. Ar, atomic number 18. First shell 2. Second shell 8. Third shell. Third shell capability is 18. But to make a shell or a particular atom to be stable, the maximum accommodation for that particular atom of the element is 8. So children, if it is 8, means it is full octet. It does not have a capability of giving or taking that moment, because we have completed its atomic number. 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 8, 18. So when we have done this, so now argon is fully filled, because it will not give. It say, okay, 8, my first part is over. 8 is the maximum octet theory which he has fulfilled. So when it is being done, argon's valency becomes 0. K, L, M. But the question arises over here. Ma'am, the third shell has an accommodation of 18. I told you. If a particular element has 18 for this shell, then only it will fill. Otherwise, it cannot fill 9, 10, 11, 12. 18 or 8. That's it. If it is 8, then it's fine. If it is 9, it has to move on to here. 8, it will give it to this shell, and then it move to the next shell. This is the rule of 288. Let me take one more, that is potassium. You will understand more. Potassium symbol is K, and the rule says, for example, its atomic number is 19, and rule says first shell 2, second shell 8, third shell 8, 8 plus 8, 16, 17, 18. Why not I am putting here 9? Because I cannot put 9, 10, 11, 12. I have to put 8 or I have to put 18. Otherwise, I cannot put any other number. And this is the rule, says 288 rule. If a particular element is fulfilled its electron by 288, then the rule says 288 rule. So 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 8, 18. So it will move to the next shell to give its valency. That is 1, becomes 19. Now we have to see K, L, M and N. And the last shell number which I told you, if it is 1, 2, 3, 4, you will copy down the same. So potassium valency is 1. In this way, let me explain you one more element, that is copper, which is not in the atomic number, but how to fulfill this rule. Copper has atomic number 29. Check it down, children. 2, 8, and now it will be 18 because it has 18. It cannot become 17, 16, 15. So 18 accommodation is clear. That is 2, 8, 18, third shell, and this is 1. So 18 plus 8 plus 2, it is 28, plus 1, that is 29. Now you cannot put 8 because copper has a capability of taking 18 electron. So it will give 18. It will not put 8 now. Now it will give that extra 1 to the next shell. And now copper can have an valency, that is 1. Because copper is a transition element, which you will study in a higher classes, copper has a valency, two different valencies, 1 and 2. And 1 we can get from the atomic number, and this 2, how it got it, you will study in a higher classes. This is not in your syllabus. Because this question again arises, ma'am, copper has 2 valencies. Yes, copper has 2 valencies. And that 2 valencies because copper is a transition element. And transition elements do have 2 valencies. One copper is having a valency 1 and another it is having 2. I hope, children, now it is clear to everyone. In case if you have any doubt, now also you can ask me through Campus Care, because you have to study the valency, children. And I told you the trick to learn the valencies from 1 to 20, that you will start like this: 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This is the way to learn the valency. With valency, you will learn the name of the elements. Thank you, children, and have a nice day.